Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Elizabeth. It's good to have you. Please consider subscribing and turning on your post notification bell if you are a crafter or just enjoy crafting videos. My goal at the moment is to have 2,000 of you lovely people subscribe to my channel. So please help me to achieve my goal so I can continue to bring you more crafting videos. Today I'm going to be showing you how I sew the bend and snap clutch by Linds Handmade using my domestic sewing machine. And if you would like to see how I do this, stay tuned. Okay, so I am going to be sewing the bend and snap clutch by Linds Handmade, and I am going to be using my Brother in Novice 55. This is an extremely old sewing machine. I got this about 6 years ago, so it's a domestic sewing machine. So that is what I'm going to be using, and I'm hoping this stitches out okay. It's only got two main kind of layers, so I'm hoping that my domestic machine handles it really well. I think it will anyway. So I'm just going to go through the pieces of fabric that I've got that I'm going to be using to create this clutch. Okay, so for the main body of my fabric, it's two pieces. So we have an exterior, which is this one, cotton one, and then we have an interior, and I'm using this lovely cork fabric, which you probably have seen if you've watched my haul. If you haven't seen my haul, my fabric haul, please go and watch it. I might link it at the top actually, so go and check it out. So I've got this Frida Kahlo cotton fabric, and this is going to be my exterior. And what I did is I cut two panels out, and I've sewn it together just so that when the bag is bent over, Frida is not upside down. So I've gone ahead and done that, and I've also stitched my my name here, which I did using faux leather, and I used heat transfer just to do that because I don't have a metal nameplate yet. Okay, so that is my exterior and my interior main body. I've got my strap, which I've already sewn together. Okay, so the pattern comes with really fabulous instructions. So I've gone ahead and done that, and this I've done using faux leather in black. And I've got my hardware here, which is gunmetal as well. So I've gone ahead and I've just put that together just to get it out of the way. But if you'd like to see how I create a strap, okay, let me know in the comments. I've also got my carry handle here, which I've also gone ahead and stitched up, okay, also in the faux leather. I have my zipper face in here, also in faux leather, but if you notice, this one has got a bit of texture to it, whereas the other one, for example, the one for the strap, does not. Okay. Did I do that on purpose? No, but I'm glad I did. It's just I ran out of this vinyl. Okay, so this is, I had a little bit of this vinyl left, and I thought I would use it for the zipper facing. I have 3 lots of zipper tape here with the zipper pulls already attached to it. I have my snap closure already, which I have also stitched ready, and this one is also the textured textured faux leather. I have my ID window here, and I've added my clear vinyl and also sewn that in just to save time. So I've put that together. I have my card slot fabric, so this is what is going to be used to create the pockets for the card slots, and this is poly cotton. I'm using this because I just thought it's quite thin, because you need quite a thin fabric for the card slots, and I'm hoping it doesn't fray, but just in case, I've painted the sides. I have my exterior zipper liner here, and I'm also using the poly cotton as well, and I've got woven interfacing on the back, and I've got my interior zipper liner. I've got 4 of them, and this is also the poly cotton, and I've also got the woven interfacing on the back, and I've got 4 of those there. As far as my hardware, I've already done my strap, so I've got some double capped rivets on my strap, but I've also got some more double capped rivets for the actual carry handle, and for decorative part of the clutch around the ID window, I've got these smaller rivets. I've also got magnetic snaps, also in gunmetal. I've got 2 of those. The magnets actually making it bunch up together, but yeah, I've got 2 of those magnetic snaps, and I have a press snap here also for the card slot area, and I've got my D-rings here, also 2 of those in gunmetal. I believe that's everything as far as my hardware. Oh, I forgot to say, as far as the interfacing on my my exterior, my main body exterior, what I did is I used woven interfacing, and then I've got Decoville, and it's out of the seam allowance. I think that's it, and my cork fabric does not have any interfacing whatsoever. I don't think it needs it. So that's it, let's begin. Okay, so I have got my interior body here, my cork fabric, and I have marked out all the placements from the pattern. So I've got my zipper pull rectangle here, and I shouldn't have, but I went and punched out the holes for the magnetic snaps. It shouldn't cause any problems, but I was only supposed to mark it, not actually punch them out. And I have created my card slots here, and the little slit for my actual tab. So, and I have also put some tape. The pattern tells you everything, how to do it. It's so good, so good. And for a new for somebody who's just getting into bag making, I think this is a nice kind of first bag to create. That's really straightforward, and I think it's going to be easy to do. Fingers crossed. Okay, famous last words. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this tape. This is double-sided tape, and I am going to stick on. So now I'm going to stick on my fabric here, matching it up to that double-sided tape. Like so. Okay, get that down. Like so. It's actually really awkward because of how I've got my camera, so I'm hoping you can see really well. I don't have a lot of room, but hopefully you can see that. So I've put it down and the fabric is facing up. Now I'm going to flip it over, and I'm actually going to now top stitch that slit right there. So I'm making sure it's nice and straight. Okay, so I have sewn the first stitch and I didn't back stitch so that I can tie off the threads in the back. So I'm just pulling it through to the back and I'm going to do 3 knots. So my battery just died, so I've just knotted the back of my threads and I'm just going to cut them and singe it with a lighter. I'm using bonded nylon thread, so I can do that. So I need to be really careful here that I don't burn my actual fabric. And now I'm going to pull this tape off at the bottom. And pull my fabric back this way. Making sure it's nice and straight. Finger press this part here that I've just sewn. And then lay that down. Straight. I think in the whole pattern, this is the part that I'm most nervous about. And then I'm going to pull this bit off. Also, if I can grab a hold of it. And then flip this back up. Finger press this part down, give it a tug, make sure it's straight, and then press that down onto that bit of tape, and then I'm going to flip it over and top stitch. So I'm just knotting again at the back, 3 knots. Just singeing. Okay, now I need to measure 1/2 inch from the bottom. I'm just going to check the pattern and just make sure it is 1/2 inch. Yep, so 1/2 inch from the bottom. And I'm going to add some tape. And then I'm going to pull that off. Flip this back over. Finger press at the top. And press that into place. Remove this one. And basically it's just a repetition. So I'm going to just show this last bit and then finish it off camera so it's not taking forever, because I don't sew very fast. So finger press here, make sure it's smooth. And then I'm going to top stitch. Right, so I believe I've created 2 card slots, so I'm just going to check with my card here to see if it fits in nicely, and it does. That's the first one, and the second one. Yep, and that also fits in nicely. So I'm just going to keep going, repeating those steps. Okay, so my card slots are now done, and I've got this extra bit of fabric here, so I'm just going to cut that off with my pinking shears. Okay, it's not the straightest, but I've reduced the amount that I have at the top. I might just do it again actually. That is going to bother me. Okay, a little bit straighter now. Just a tad. Okay, so our card slots are done. And I can test it out. Yep. So I've already done those ones. Let me try the other ones that I haven't. Yep. And they go in. They fit in nicely. Right, lovely. Right. The next thing I'm going to do, and I also pressed the back of this off camera just to have it nice and flat as well. So I'm going to now grab my snap closure. Okay, so I've got my snap closure here, and I need to punch a hole in it first actually. So I'm going to punch a hole in it so that I can set my snap. So I'm just going to grab my puncher. Or actually I could use, no, I'm going to use my puncher. So I'm going to be using this puncher here, and I'm going to look for the smallest puncher, which is in fact this one right here. Okay, so that's the smallest one, and try and get the center. And just punch a hole in. Give it a little twist. Okay, so I have a hole in there now. So I have my snaps here. So this cap bit of my snap is going to go here, through here like this, and my receiving end, or the female end, is going to fit on top like that. So I'm going to have that there, and then in my actual body of my bag, I'm going to be using the stud and the post. So here is the post, okay, just like that, and I have the stud, or the male part. So I'm going to just fit it in through, slip it in through here. It's going to be a bit fiddly, but that's the way it says to do it in the pattern. So I could have done it first, but the designer actually says not to do that. And then that's going to go on top like that. And I have my tools here that I'm going to use, so I'm going to pop this in, slip it through underneath, so my post is sitting in this part here, okay, the bit with the bump. So I'm going to do that off camera because I need to do this on a hard surface. So I'm going to set this, and it's going to be a lot of banging with a hammer. So I'm going to get that done and I'll be back. Okay, so I have set my snap in place. So I'm just going to snap that and then tuck this raw edge into the slit that I've already cut out, just sliding it in there. Make sure it's nice and flat like that, and then I'm just going to top stitch that now so that it holds it in place. And I'm not going to back stitch so that you don't see a bunch of thread in the front. I'm going to pull my threads through to the back. I'm hoping I don't run out of bobbin soon, so I'm just going to pull this through to the back and just sew my, not sew, but knot my thread. Okay, and I'm just going to cut it and singe it with the I forgot to say what I was going to say. Singe it with the lighter. I'm distracted because we have a new family member who is driving me berserk. We have a new kitten and he is just so boisterous. He is driving me crazy. Luigi! Luigi! Come! Come here! Come on! Come on! Luigi! Come! So this is Luigi and he is a menace. He is a menace. Say hi! Say hi! Oh, he's behaving really well for the camera, but he's a menace. Say hi! Okay, say bye! Right, off you go. He is, yeah, he's a menace. And he is driving Roxy, who's my other cat, crazy. Okay, so that's done. So the next thing I'm going to do is put my ID slot in. So I've actually marked where I'm going to be placing my ID window, and I've got some tape here at the back. So I'm just going to pull that off. Oh my goodness, he's in here causing havoc. No, no. Oh my goodness, he's gonna knock my camera over. No. Get out. Oh. Right. So I'm just going to pull this off, like I said before I was rudely interrupted by Luigi. Pull off this double-sided tape and place it in the middle, like so. Before I press that down completely, I just need to make sure that it's centered. It should be centered. Let's see how much. Yeah, so that's fine. So now I'm going to just top stitch around the edge, and then I might start here actually. I'm gonna go down, across, up, and then back down, across and up, and pull my threads to the back, and hope I've got enough bobbin thread to do that. So I thought I'd press record, but obviously I hadn't. Yeah, I've sewn in my my ID window, my ID slot, and I just punched some holes in all four corners. That's what the designer does in hers, and these are just for decorative purposes, not for anything structural. So I'm just putting this super tiny and super fiddly rivets in, like that. So I'm just going to pop 3 more in there and go and set it off camera, and I'll be back. Okay, so I have gone and set my rivets. This was a bit of a challenge because I don't have a press that tiny to press that in, so I just use the hammer to secure it, and thankfully it's not anything structural, so that should be fine. Right, next I need to attach my magnetic snaps. So I've already got my, well, it was supposed to be a mark and I punched it out. So I'm just lining up my punch hole with the actual hole in the washer, and I'm just going to put the lines in for the prongs. So I'm going to do that on all 4 sides. So that is my markings for, and I'm using a fabric pen. I'll just apply some heat to this and it should disappear. So I've marked, hopefully you can see that, I've marked where I'm going to put my prongs, and I'm just going to use my, if I can find it, I'm just going to use my scalpel to cut those small holes, or slits rather, and I've got to make sure I don't make them too big. Okay, so on this end I'm going to be putting the female part of my magnetic snap. So that's the male end, this is the male end, so I need the female end. So this end here, so I'm going to be putting that on this end. Okay, so I'm going to push it through the little slits, and hopefully it's, yep, so pushing it through like that. Okay, let's flip it over. And I'm just also going to add a bit of Decaville to the back here, just so that everything kind of stays intact and it doesn't rip or anything like that. So just a tiny piece of Decaville. And I'm also going to put the slits in. So I might as well just go and do 4 of those. I have installed my snaps and oh my goodness, can you hear that? That is Luigi. Right, so I've so my camera died again. It said it didn't have enough storage space, so I just had to clear some stuff off the SD card. So I don't know where I stopped at, but I have put some Decaville and then the washer and then press down the prongs, and I press the prongs in, going in, so that it doesn't interfere with my final stitching. And I'm just putting some double-sided tape on top of that, just to protect the inside of the bag so it doesn't wear. You could use, I guess you could use duct tape, yeah, with this, just to kind of protect it. Right, so that's all done. I'm going to now cut out my rectangles for my zippers, and I'm going to do that off camera and I will be back. I'll also be attaching some double-sided tape at the bottom, so when I come back you should see a gap here and some double-sided tape on both sides. Okay, so I have cut out my space for my zipper. I need to snip this off. And I've added some double-sided tape on there. I'm just going to push that there for now. Now I've got my lining for my zipper pockets. So what I need to do is make sure I've got the correct. So I need to make sure that my lining is face up, and I know it's face up because I've got the woven fuse on the back. So I'm going to get my zipper, make sure my zipper is pulling to the left. Okay, and I've already marked the center here, so I'm going to match it up with the center that I've marked in my fabric also, to the very edge there. And I'm going to start to clip that into place along the top edge like that. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to center all my zippers for all of my lining, and then I'm going to attach it and sew that on. So I'm going to do that and I'll be back. Okay, so I have attached my zipper to my lining, okay, like so. So I've done it on all three zippers, or all three pockets. So now I'm going to get my main fabric, and I am now going to, hopefully you can see that, I am going to center this and make sure that actually before I do that, because this keeps coming up, I'm gonna go and I'm just gonna go and press this down with an iron. I'm gonna do that to all of them, and then I am going to come and then center this on here and then stitch around it. Okay, so I have attached my zipper to my main panel, and now I'm going to push everything up, so all my lining is going up like that and out of the way, and then I am going to just stitch along this bottom part here, and I'm going to pull my threads so I can tie it at the back. So I'm just making sure my zipper tape is nice and flat. Okay, yep, so I'm going to stitch around and then flip it. Once I've done this bottom part, I'm going to flip my lining down, and then I'm going to stitch along the sides and up the top and back down this way, and pull the thread through the back and tie it off. Okay, so I have installed the zipper on both sides of my interior, and my lining is quite long, so I'm going to trim that down. So I'm going to trim this down, and then I'm going to baste all around the edge of this main fabric. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll be back to do the exterior fabric. So I am almost done with this project. Almost done. Okay, so I have basted around my interior. Basted around it. And now I'm going to deal with the exterior. So I've already gone and stuck my zipper facing on there, and I'm going to stitch around the perimeter of the zipper facing. Okay, so I have sewn around my zipper facing, and I have cut around it, being careful not to cut my actual zipper facing or cut into the stitches. So now I'm just going to do what I did with the other zipper, if I can find it. Okay, so before I do that, actually I've got some, I need to put some double-sided sticky tape on there. So I'm just going to add some double-sided sticky tape. This is just going to help to hold the zipper in place while I sew. Okay, so like that, and then I'm going to line up my zipper and then put that all together. and I'll come back and show you once it's done. We're almost done. We're almost done. Okay, so my exterior zipper pocket is sewn on, and that is the back. I have pressed the back, so I've turned up this part because I'm going to pull the bag through this zipper pocket. So now I'm just going to stitch the sides together. I'm going to stitch the sides together and then get on to the next bit. So I need to remember to leave this open because I have a feeling I'm going to forget, because we're going to pull the bag through this zipper pocket, so I'm going to leave that open now. So I'm just going to stitch here all the way down and here all the way down. So on this side all the way down and the other side. Okay, so here is my exterior, and I've added my rivets. The rivets are not pressed in properly because I don't have a correct rivet press for these tiny ones, but I just did as much as I can. It's for decorative purposes anyway. Right, and now my main body interior, I'm going to turn it so right side down, facing my exterior fabric, and my ID window going towards the top. And I'm just going to match up all the centers and clip them together, and then I'm going to sew around the exterior and then turn it right side out. Okay, so I've sewn around the outside of the exterior. I'm just going to trim around the outside and then turn the bag inside out. Okay, so I have turned the bag through. It was a bit of a challenge, but it's turned through. So I'm just going to sew this zipper pocket closed, and then I think I'm going to go over it with the iron and just press it a bit more flat and smooth because it got a little bit wrinkled when I was turning it. So I'm going to just stitch this bit shut. Okay, so that bit is sewn shut, and I'm just going to pop it back in, pushing in all the little corners. Okay, so I'm just going to go and press this now, and then we're going to come back and just install the carry handle, and then we are done. So I have now press the bag, so I'm going to get my carry handle, make sure the wrong side is facing down, and then I'm going to center it on the top of the bag and add some marks at the top. I've already punched some holes in the handle, so I'm just going to add the markings. Hopefully that's going through and marking. Let's see, did it mark? Kind of. Okay, so only 2 of the marks showed up. So I'm just going to measure from there. I'm going to measure with my ruler and make the holes, and then use my attach the rivets. So I'm going to punch a hole all the way through. I realise that the last bit of the video didn't record. I was getting so many issues with my camera, but the last bit that you would have seen is me talking about me adding the kind of carry handle, and I just used rivets to attach that, and in between the two rivets is where I have my D-ring, which I will attach my crossbody strap to. So the rivets just go all the way in from that side to that side, and pressed and pressed and pressed and pressed, and you have your D-rings on both sides, so that I am able to attach my crossbody strap to it like that. Here it is with the crossbody strap. Okay, so we have a zipper pocket here, which can fit in. I have an iPhone 11 and it fits in there fine. In fact, it fits in all the pockets really well. So you have that. You open it this way. I really love this cork fabric. I think it goes really well with this Frida Kahlo. Right, so you have a zipper pocket inside. So you have one on the inside. You have two on the inside. So you have one here. Okay, and you have another one here, which is really deep as well. You can put lots of things in there. And then you have your card slots with the snap, so that keeps it secure, so there's no fear of you thinking your cards are gonna fall out. Okay, and you have your card slots, and that's it. I think this bag is just lovely. I can't wait to make more using different fabrics and yeah, different colorways as well. The pattern is really, really easy to follow. If I can follow it, anybody can. So yeah, I will link where I purchased the pattern from in the description. If you found this video interesting or useful, please like and subscribe if you haven't yet done so, and turn on your post notification bell and make sure you check all so you never miss an upload from me. Please feel free to interact with the comment section by leaving any comments, questions, or any suggestions about any videos that I should do in the comment section below. You're also welcome to join our Facebook group. It's Craft Junkie Studio, and I will leave the link in the description box below. And as always, don't have a good day, have an amazing day. Till next time, bye.